What's going on, guys? Welcome back to RC Everyday. Another tutorial video on the kit build, the RC Everyday kits. Yeah, we're gonna make a firewall today. So I've had a lot of people ask about the firewall situation. If you watched all the other builds, most of the time I just make them out of sheet metal. And that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna show you how I use magnets to make that. And yeah, so I've got some metal here. It was the only thing I could find in these little small town hardware stores. It is sheet metal 26 gauge galvanized finish, which I don't really like the galvanized finish, but keeps it from rusting until I'm ready to make it rust. Stuff's gotten expensive. It's a little thicker than I usually work with, so yeah, it's gonna be fun because all I have to cut it with are some tin snips. So we'll walk you through how I do that, and I've got some rare earth magnets. These are not the right size for the holes on the body, unfortunately, but we'll drill that out. Those are the smallest ones I have, and yeah, just gonna make it work. So I'm gonna pull the body off of here and we'll take a look at it. All right, so you can see the body is got all these holes here, and we'll drill those and stuff out later for the magnets when we get there. I'm gonna start with just trying to make a template. Usually I'd use a marker, but I don't want to get any marker on my paint. So we've done it a little bit out of order here. So I'm gonna find a flat edge here. Get you over here where you can see it. And we're gonna try to scratch it with this little cheap screwdriver. Just scratch down in. It's actually working out pretty well. And we'll go around the top of the cowl. And got a pretty good outline. And we didn't damage the body any. So this will obviously be a little bit bigger because I went to the outside edge here. So it looks like we need to take about 2 millimeters off of that, which is going to be fun to do with these real precise cutting instruments here. Get that out of the way. Sorry for the mess. I'm in the middle of filming the second video of the bed, and I just can't get any paint to dry. I painted the bed sides this morning, ran some errands, come back, and it's still tacky. So we're going to have to let that set. So that video is going to be delayed, but I really wanted to get this one out because this is a pretty crucial piece of the puzzle here. It's really hard to see that. I'm going to cut pretty close to the line, and we can come back and trim it up as we need. I don't want to go too far in to start with. I'm probably cutting 1 millimeter of the inside of that line. Give myself a little bit of room to make it fit later. Corners are the hard parts. We'll have to come back and definitely do some work on those. The trickiest part with this, being that we're running the scale V8, is going to be getting the opening cut centered in here where we need it to be. Haven't quite figured that out yet. The ones I've done it on before, like number 2, it doesn't have an actual transmission that goes through, so the firewall is just flat behind the engine and you can't really see it. Some of the other ones I just cut a square hole, made it fit pretty close. This one I want to do pretty precise, so we're almost there. We'll break that off. Maybe. All right, where's our line? Get that nasty thing off the edge there. And be sure to put that in a trash can, because you do not want those to go flying like that and you lose it. There, oh, that's plastic. There it is. I've had these in my feet plenty of times. It's not fun. Keep a little cup over here. So let's see how we did. So we're just a hair off in every direction. So that's not bad at all. All right, I'm gonna take it to the bench grinder and just kind of smooth this out for one and kind of work it down. it fitting pretty good. It is, yeah, they never get the corners perfect, but it's good enough. It sets down recessed in there, and we'll do the job good. I got the bottom nice and even, and then it fits pretty much the same both sides. Not any real difference, so yeah. Usually we mark the front and the back, but yeah, we'll just remember the shiny side out. So the next thing we're going to do is do some eyeballing. Got to find center, which is never, okay, maybe that was pretty easy. Looks pretty close. Let me get the caliper and see how close we actually are. All right, 42, 42, that's pretty close. All right, now I gotta figure out how to cut this thing. So this is why at some points, I've done this before and I'll just cut a square hole. So it's gonna be level with the bottom of the chassis rail. So our height is gonna be right about here. Oh, and I already touched it. Somewhere along those lines. So, measure the width of the transmission. It's pretty good. This is going to be a very big awkward hole.
That's what she said.
Come on. We gotta remember to go outside of our cuts there. All right, so I think I'm going to snip this up the sides, and we'll go from there. About to there. We'll worry about trying to arch it here in a minute. And you saw me hitting it with that little vintage ball peen hammer. Makes it easy to smooth all these wrinkles back out, because these don't leave the best edges. You can see there's still a little bit of bump in it, but once we get it hot and we start sanding off this galvanized finish, it will look a lot better. So I think we're going to move to the Dremel. I'm going to try to get an arch out of the top of this best I can. And yeah, see how it looks. All right, got it fitting pretty good. Looks pretty nice. It's nice and snug on the chassis. It's gonna help every issue we've got. I'm also gonna come back here in a little bit and we'll make a little battery mount on the back of this. It's a simple bent piece of metal. We'll either bolt it or rivet it to this, and it'll put our battery underneath the cowl of the body. But I'm gonna do these magnets now. I've got a 3/16 drill bit. I'm gonna see how this does. Be very, very delicate drilling into your plastics. This stuff, I've never done this with this kind of print before, so I'm a little cautious. If that is not the right size bit, it's good to start small and step your way up. I think with a little bit of work, that'll work. One little wobble. All right, well, I'm gonna do all the rest of them real quick. I think it's doing pretty good. All right, making a mess. See if we can get any of these inside of here. Prefer it to fit tight, but I don't know. We may have to go up another drill bit and use some glue. Let me see what else we've got in there. All right, so we got to make a decision. 13/64 allows it to fit in pretty well. It will come right out, I'm sure. Yep, so we'll have to either glue it or try to force them in. I'm more leaning to gluing because I don't want to try to force things into the plastic, but I gotta at least give it a shot here. Let me see which side needs to face. Okay, so it'll do either side. Let's see if we can get one in here just by pressure. I don't think it's gonna work that well. Can't really get a good angle on it to squeeze it. Might be able to do this one. All right, now we're talking. I always do a couple of these because they're so small and it increases the magnetism. So I'll do 2 or 3 in each hole. Oh, perfect. All right, now we're cooking. What did I do on that one? Is it 3? So we only have to glue the top center hole that I drilled too big. So yeah, not the 13/64. It's easy when it sticks to the pliers. Oh, wrong end. There wasn't quite so much paint. Well, I guess there's not paint there. I just drilled them out. I guess it's just snug. I don't have exactly the right size piece for that job. All right, got it figured out. I used the bigger drill bit just to kind of flare the opening. I really don't think we need a top one. I'm not going to mess with glue right now. Boom. Fits in place pretty good. So let's look at our battery mounting options here. So what I like to do is have the battery up here in this area on the cowl. So I'm going to cut a kind of a rectangle piece, and it's just going to start here. It's going to go out and up, and it'll just be a little thing for a small little 2 or 3 cell lipo. So let's do that real quick. All right, let's get this back together. Came out pretty good, pretty simple stuff here. Just a little bit of metal manipulating, a little bit of drilling, a little bit of fun with magnets. Get the body back into place. And bingo. All right, get my wire somewhere safe. Oh, I lost the jack stands. Oh well. And the screws for the motor plate. We'll get there. All right, what's the deal? Just a smidge too high right here. All right, do a little bit more trimming. Didn't have to trim. I just snapped under that lip. It just needed a little bit more persuasion. So yeah, that looked good. I sanded off all the zinc coating with the wire wheel. Got to knock it down as much as I could. You know, I never really get it all, but yeah, maybe it'll rust up. If you're so inclined, you could do like a vinegar and what is it? I can't even remember. It's been so long. It was I think it's peroxide and vinegar, and it'll make metal flash rust pretty quick. I'm not ready to do that yet. Might be something we look at down the road, but it actually looks pretty dang good. I'm pretty excited about that. The last one I did, I think number 2, I didn't make the battery tray that wide, so I kept having issues with the battery falling off. But it affords us a little bit of space underneath that cowl. Not sure if I can get you in there at all to see it. But it also will give us a place too, from the back side of that battery tray, to make a dash or you know, have a steering column and things like that attached. Gives us a little bit of room to work with. You can see here it fits nice along the frame, comes down all the way to the ground with the body. Really tucks things up. We've got room in there. You can see the screws for the motor, the SSD motor. Go through the motor plate in the transmission. Plenty of clearance there with that. And it looks cool. You can see the transmission going inside the body just like a real car. So yeah, I think that wraps it up. I figured that was a good sized battery to build off of. You could do, of course, a smaller one. I'm not sure you get much of a bigger battery in there. Yeah, it's just, you know, it's a lot of battery. A little 3-cell, I think, what is that, a 2000 milliamp? That would be more than enough for this little thing and brush system. So not worried about that at all. Looks so much more complete with that. But again, it's just basic stuff, just sheet metal, a little bit of cutting and fiddling. I mean, I know not everybody can do it. We are looking at maybe making a 3D printed piece, but right now I'm struggling finding affordable printed stuff anywhere. Trying to get some more quotes to speed up production a little bit. We can't keep up. And yeah, a lot of things going on in the background, but that's neither here nor there. Just wanted to show you how to do this. This is one of the more important of the tutorial videos. And yeah, hope it helps somebody out. So I appreciate you guys buying the kit. Appreciate y'all watching and following along with the channel. Get out there and do something fun with the hobby. Keep it scale, and I'll see y'all next time.